Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Coffee Chat and a Card. It is Friday, October 27th. So we are almost all through October. I want to remind you, if you're tuning in after the 31st, then disregard this little promo message. You do have until the 31st of October at midnight to still join using the 35% off for your starter kit. And that is where you can either choose $35 more in product and pay $99 and get, I believe it's 164 in product, or you can get $125 worth of products for $64, somewhere in there. My figures may not be quite on mark. But anyway, that is still going, and I have a pesky little fly in my studio. So if I grab my fly swatter, don't be shocked. So, my name is Sue Sanders. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Missouri, and I love what I do. I enjoy it so much that I am usually always in my studio room. So, let's start off today. Hello, Charlene. I hope you are feeling better today. Um, my computer's not where I can see comments and look. Do that. There we go. Now I'm now I'm back on. I hit the button when I moved my camera or moved my computer. So, are you feeling better, Charlene? I hope so. I know last night on the video you were saying that you had a cold. I was going to give you a call today. I'm thinking about if you are able to, maybe Sunday afternoon, we could get together. I'm going to be coming back from Kansas City.
Oh, this is the camera that it's using.
Oh, that's the camera it's
Yeah,
using?
no wonder it's
Oh,
looking
well, I
weird
don't want
angle.
that camera. Let me get the right camera.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, hold on, Charlene. I really moved things around. I had the wrong camera. There we go.
Okay, no wonder you were
Looking weird.
Well, I was like, well, that's an angle that I don't normally see over here.
Yeah. So, okay, now
This is what happens when I let you have control of the camera.
That's right. Dorothy usually has controls of the settings, and I don't. So do you have any questions, Charlene, about anything?
You were saying about something.
Oh, yes. So I was going to give you a call today, and I still will, because we don't need to discuss that here live so that everybody can hear our conversation. But I wanted to try and see if I couldn't get together with you on Sunday afternoon on my way back from Kansas City this weekend. So I'll give you a call later this afternoon or after the video is over, if that's okay with you. I know that there are some of our regulars that are not going to make it today for our coffee and chat for one reason or another, and that's okay because they can watch the replay. What do I have going on here? Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, I am not the computer programmer here. I have to give it back to Dorothy.
Why do you keep messing
No,
up?
I just had my little cursor over her name and it wasn't showing me the
Give me
thing.
the mouse.
I'm gonna give up the mouse. Okay.
Don't touch anything.
Okay, I won't touch anything. Okay, so I am going to get right into our little project today. It's not going to take very long. It's going to be a little bag that we're going to be able to put one of the Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers into. So it's just kind of a little gift that we can do for Christmas. So I am going to blacken my screen so that I don't make you dizzy. And I'm going to flip my camera down to my desktop. So give me just a second. This is where I always get messed up.
Isn't it just?
No, I have to turn that little thing or it messes up the stand. Okay, now we are to my desktop. Okay, so Charlene, have you got a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or something that you're drinking this morning. I have my coffee, so that's always good. I got up early this morning. Well, not really any earlier than normal, but then I sat around and I didn't get busy right away. So then I lay back down for about an hour. So I was kind of rushing to get things figured out. My camera angle is still a little bit off. There we go. You'll see the corner of my computer, but my setup, I just really need to redo my room again. It's been about 10 years, I think. 10 years, something like that. Boy, I tell you, flies and gnats are just so bad. Oh, good. You're drinking coffee. So do you drink it with anything in it, or are you a black coffee drinker, Charlene? I like mine black. All right, so let's get with our little project here. And you're going to start with a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. So I chose this, and you could do it either on the snowflake side or the trees, but I'm going to do it on the trees. When you score your 6x6 paper, you want the design, because it's got a directional design, to go up to the top of your scoreboard, or of your trimmer, I'm sorry. And actually, I'm not using my trimmer. I don't know why I've got it on my desk, because I guess I got my paper. We're going to bring out the scoreboard because it's easier to do these score marks. All right, so you don't have to have one of these. You can use your trimmers. I just prefer to use my scoreboard when I'm going to be doing boxes and things. Okay, so here I have my directional pattern going to the top. And I'm going to start from the left side, and I'm going to score at 1 3/4. Artificial sweetener. Oh, Dorothy loves the French vanilla cream. Let me tell you, that's why she drinks coffee, is so that she can drink the creamer.
My favorite, the Italian sweet cream.
Okay, well, I drink mine black. And then, so 1 3/4, 2 3/4. And I don't know what my dogs are barking at, but they're barking at something. 4 1/2. I guess I need to move this down just a bit. And then at 5 1/2, and that's going to make our little tab. Then we're going to rotate it clockwise, and I am going to score at 1 inch. Hi, Karen. You drink yours with cream and Splenda. Oh, how could I not have told you that? So, are you off at the office today? So 1 inch and 4 1/2 inches is our lines. So I know that's probably kind of hard for you to see. Maybe this side you can see it a little bit better. All right, so we're done scoring. And now we're going to, a lot of people will cut their scores before they burnish them. I like to drink. I was looking at the comment that says you drink coffee with Splenda and a little creamer. I like to burnish mine before I cut it. It helps me know exactly where my score lines are. So at least I just kind of fold them in so that I know exactly where I'm going to need to be cutting them at. So I am just folding my score lines up. Okay, so now the wider part is going to be at the top. That's going to be the top of our little gift bag. And then the narrow side is going to be our bottom. So I'm going to take and show you. I'm going to lay it like this because I want to work with my right-hand corner. That's going to be my top flap. So I want to show you, and I'm going to draw a light pencil line, I think, where we're going to cut off at, because we may use some of this paper for, and it may be the back side, for our little embellishments. So here on this little 1/2 inch side, I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to cut all the way across here. So I'm not going to have any of this section showing. It's all going to be cut off. Okay. And this close-up work, we're going to get the spectacles on. And I try to cut just below the score line so that it is relatively nice and sharp and even. And we're going to cut that all the way over to our big square here. And then we're going to cut this up like so. So that's a piece of scrap that we can use. Now I'm going to turn it around, and I know that this little piece here that's our tab, that can all get cut off because we don't need that. And we're going to miter off that tab just a bit, both at the top and the bottom. That way it's going to fit our box better. All right. Now I'm just going to cut up on that score line to that first score line, which is, I believe that's the 1 inch. Yeah. So we're going to cut up to the 1 inch score line that we made. Well, I think fall has finally arrived, seeing as how we're going to have our first big freeze here on Sunday. I don't know. Okay. And now the 2 smaller tabs, I'm just going to come in and just make my little miter cut on each one of those. That one wasn't very straight. That's all right. It's not going to show. So I just folded up my other 2 tabs so that I didn't get those in my way. Okay. So now when you look at it, this is what you have. You have a little flap, a big flap, little flap, big flap. Okay. And then this is going to be the front of our box, which turned out really good. It's a tree right in the center. All right. So now, since all I kind of did was just fold them over, I am going to give them a good swipe with my bone folder. Because whenever you're making boxes or bags, you want to make sure that they have nice, good, crisp creases. Okay. And I know that we don't have the detailed trio punch anymore, but if you've got any kind of corner rounder punch, most everybody does. I'm just going to round my corners for that top flap, and I'm just using my triple or my trio punch here that has my rounded corners. Okay. I wish they would do a corner rounder punch. All right. So now that I've got that all done, we're going to lay this little 1/2 inch spot down. And usually when I'm doing boxes or bags, I always use my Terran tape, which is the double-sided tape. I just think it gives me more of a stronger hold than the glue or that, and it sticks right away. You don't have to wait for it. So I'm going to put a piece right at the edge on one side. And I'm going to trim that off. And yes, I do have my pair of old scissors that I use for my sticky stuff. Trim off this little corner here. And then I'm going to put a second piece right next to it. And that has an angle on it already, so I'm going to use that at the bottom, bring it up to the top, and then cut it off on an angle. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, there's a couple different things that you could do if you wanted to close this up or how to close it up. Here is my real quickie one that I put together so that I would know my steps. And I thought I would put a ribbon through it, but I didn't like that. However, you could definitely put a ribbon through this to hold it closed. But I'm going to use little magnets, or you could get those little sticky Velcro dots. I unfortunately don't have any of the little Velcro dots today, so I need to go and pick some up. So I'm going to pick up my paper. And I laid it over, which is okay because you can still usually get it pulled up. You just got to get it started. And then this side over here. So, any big plans for the weekend? I am going to Kansas City tomorrow for a Stampin' Up! Gathering. I enjoy it so much. It's a group of demonstrators up in the Kansas City, Kansas area, and they have been so gracious to adopt me and invite other demonstrators. Well, come on now. What is wrong with this piece of stuff? You know, it never fails. You're online or you're... Oh, well, silly me, the paper was already up off of it. I was looking at the designer series paper that had a piece of white there, and I'm trying to pull that off, and that's part of the paper. Yeah, I don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. All right, so now I'm just going to fold it over and make sure that my sides match up. Well, I thought when I had tore off that one piece, I had a little piece that was left on there. Well, I didn't. So that makes it really easy to close that up. So now there is our little box. We're going to close in our bottom flaps. Put your back flap, no, put your front flap towards the back, and then bring your flap from the back over. Okay. Now mine is not quite even because of the way I cut my score lines. So I'm just going to do some card surgery here and trim those up a little bit so that it just makes it for a nice, smoother bottom. So have y'all had to do card surgery before? I have. You get pretty good at it sometimes too, because you know exactly what you got to do to fix it. And that all depends on if you cut straight up that score line or if you cut to one side or the other of it. All right, so now we're going to fold in our flaps, fold in this one, fold in that one. Trim that little corner because I don't like that. Trim that off. There we go. And you want to take your time because you do want this to be squared. Okay, you don't want it wonky. All right, now I am going to use glue on this because I want that wiggle room. And my glue bottle was just here. There it is. I found it. It was behind my coffee cup. So I'm just going to lay down my tab apply my liquid glue. And there we go. It's all nice and squared up. And I still did that backwards. I didn't want my seam on the front side. I wanted it on the back. Silly. Go this way. No, I can't do that because I've got glue on it now. Oh, well. This is just going to be an example anyway, so. All right. Then you kind of stand it up and take the end of your bone folder and kind of press down on it. So did you all like the cards from last night's video? I know, Karen, you didn't like the second color. That's the petal pink. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of take your pointer fingers and you're just going to kind of squeeze in on each side. Okay. And that way that's going to make it do that little fold over with that little crease in it. Okay. So now our little hand sanitizer from Bath and Body will go right inside that little box. And that part will fold right over. Okay. I'm just going to, for right now, because I'm not going to necessarily finish this, I really don't want to use the magnets because they are, they're really heavy. And I don't want to use that. So I'm just going to put me a little glue dot here at the top of this so that we can see and get the gist of how it closes. So now it's going to close over. Okay. And it's being held together. Now, there's several things that we could do with this. We could just tie a ribbon around here, okay? But we're going to decorate it up a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. We're going to use the horse and sleigh set, and we're going to use that little joyful stamp. I have gotten so much use out of this. Where is my little joyful stamp? There it is. It's so little that I can't hardly see it. So we're going to do that, and I am going to punch that out of a piece of scrap white, and I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock because that's kind of the color that's in those trees. Stamping my joyful. I love that color. Now I know I had here. I'm going to use the double oval punch. If you don't have this, this is a really good punch to have in your stock because I did this wrong. Let me trim this off because I don't need all that excess at the top, and I need a little piece to hold on to here on the sides. So here's my little joyful. So we're going to punch that out. Then out of a piece of Pretty Peacock, I'm going to punch out the scallop. I did, Charlene. I ended up finding it. It was stuck to the back of a die case, a die envelope. So yeah, I found that Merry Christmas. It was like, I don't know where it went, but I found it. So as soon as I cleaned up everything. So there is our little tag that says joyful. Yeah, those little teeny tiny dies, I probably ought to have a table that's magnetic. That way they wouldn't be able to get lost, would they? That or have magnets on my floor and hope that they would fall on the magnets.
How would your stamps be magnetic?
My stamps wouldn't, but my dies would. Okay, so now we're just going to take and put our little tag right there, Joyful. And I can finish this all out, and I can still take and remove that little mini glue dot because I didn't press it down real hard. And I can put my Velcro button on there. Whoops, I didn't let that dry, did I? Okay, then I'm going to add with another glue dot. That doesn't look centered on there for some reason. Come on, move over here. I punched out, or I die cut with the cottage wreath set. I did the little bow, and so now I'm going to put that bow on one of those glue dots. Charlene says hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Charlene.
You'll get to meet her Sunday, Charlene. She'll be with me. So my buddies will be with me. And then I'm just going to put that little bow right there where that little glue dot is for right now, where I'm going to put my button for that. So that is a little gift box that you can make to give to somebody. And it's, you could give it to your hairdresser or your nail tech. Okay. The other thing that I thought that you could use that scrap here. I know it has the folds in it and all, but you could somehow to figure out punch something. So let me see if I could punch between those two score lines. You could punch out an oval, and you could use that as a embellishment on a card or something. Or you could do like what Dorothy would tell me to do.
You could just throw it away.
We could just throw it away because it's a scrap of paper and I can buy more. That's the beauty of paper crafting, is paper is always in abundance.
You get so many paper scraps, you don't know what to do with them.
I know, but I've been getting better at throwing away paper scraps. But you see, I can get another punch out of this one. So I don't want to throw that one away. I'll punch another oval and stick that in my oval punches.
You, girl.
So, okay. So, but you could make a little 3x3 gift card to go along with this, and then just make you an envelope. So, what do you think of this? Karen, maybe you had to go back to work. So I thought this was a neat little project. And a lot of times here at the holidays, Bath and Body has their hand sanitizers on sale for almost next to nothing.
Who doesn't need hand sanitizer?
And everybody always needs hand sanitizer. So it's just a cute little gift that you can give somebody. So, questions today. Charlene, do you have any questions today about anything? Doesn't have to be just Stampin' Up. It can just be about anything. Because everybody's so quiet. Well, I know I don't have very many people. Dorothy, do you have any questions?
Yes.
What's your question?
What time today do we plan on letting you take a nap?
Dorothy wants to know what time she gets to take a nap today. Well, since Dorothy's 44, she can take a nap anytime she wants because I don't control her life.
Yes,
You'll wait until Sunday? Okay, Charlene, we'll just make you a list. I'll call you. Probably.
I'll call you.
I'll call
when
you.
We're done with the
Probably
video,
right
she'll
after
call
I'm
you.
done with the video, I'll give you a call, Charlene, if that works for you, so that we can set up a time and a place that we can meet. Because I'm anxious to meet you in person. I think Karen's boss came back, and so she had to get off the computer. So, busted at work. All right. Well, Charlene, thank you very much for coming in this morning. I appreciate you joining me. We're going to sign off so that I can give you a call. And I have to fix some of my swap cards
Yes, we do.
for tomorrow.
We have to finish those.
Well, I have to fix them because my matchbox or my matchbook card isn't staying together the way it should. So I've got to fix that today. And that's...
Oh, we got all that stuff to get ready.
Yes.
No nap for us.
Oh, yes. Always time for a nap. All right, with Charlene, I will give you a call here. Just give me a few minutes to get things cleaned up, and we'll talk to you in just a few minutes. Bye.